Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo, Michael Bullock, and we are hoping to get Dee Dee Whitson in the building in just a matter of moments. We definitely got a lot tonight. If you missed Monday's show on Ridiculously Raw, here's the rundown. Tonight, we got, of course, SmackDown Live from last night from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now officially the home of SummerSlam 2019. And we definitely Anthony cannot hear me. Um Michael Bullock, can you hear me? So Bullock
I can
can
hear
hear
Fletch.
me. All right, so Bullock can hear me. Anthony, I don't know what to say, man. Um, uh, we're probably just gonna have to. I'm probably just gonna have to cue you then, to get him on. I don't know what is going on with Anthony, but he's definitely been having issues. He's been having issues for the last couple of episodes now with no sound. So I don't know what is going on. Um, so well, I'm just gonna have to cue him, So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start it off with SmackDown Live, and what we had was the opening segment of the evening, which was the New Day, the celebration that they had, being the five-time champions, interrupted, but this was WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, King Booker was in the building to honor the now five-time champions, basically getting the seal of approval, the knight hooded by King Booker, and then a Spinaroonie fest. After that, solid opening, very entertaining. I don't mind the campy comedy in this because of the fact that it was the five thing, but it was definitely really good. Nothing more to say about it. So I'm gonna cue Anthony. Oh, Anthony, it's yours.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, MF. I mean, very good opening segment. I mean, I got to be honest here. I mean, it was a little campy comedy-ish, if I'm going to be real honest with you. But at the same time, it was fun. I mean, King Booker got a huge pop. I mean, that was something. I mean, Corey Graves was a riot on commentary. I got to be honest there. And I'll tell you what. I mean, a very special moment indeed, and well deserved. I mean, um, wow. I mean, you know, all I can really say right now, MF, is that New Day 5-time tag team champions, well deserved. I mean, a little over the top at times, but at the same time, it was fun to watch. I mean, Bullock and I had our SmackDown chat last night. It was, we enjoyed this very much. And I could probably maybe say second best segment of the night because there was another segment later in the night that I thought was amazing. To put it all into perspective, it was great. How could you not love it? So that's really all I can say on that. So, Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this opening segment. We had our SmackDown chat last night, and we absolutely loved this segment.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. I mean, this was definitely a good segment to start off SmackDown. We were all surprised when Booker T, or as he likes to be called, King Booker, uh, basically honored the now 5-time tag team champs. Nine of them, we got a nice little spinneroonie fest. Although I'll be quite honest, Booker T was more executed, obviously, because he's done it for a long time. And basically honoring like I said, now the 5-time WWE World Tag Team Champions. And I guess we can say in the immortal words of Booker T, now can you dig that, sucker? Great opening segment, and yeah, and then there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So, it was a little campy comedy, but to be quite honest, I actually enjoyed it. I didn't mind the campy comedy, the campy comedy for once. So, nice way to start it off. Dee Woodson, I give it to you, my friend.
Yeah, it was a good way to start the show. That I was kind of halfway surprised to see Booker out there, but with this being the five time celebration, we all probably should have figured, that he would be out there for it. Watching each one of them do a spinneroonie was kind of funny, um, and cool at the same time. If you want to call Big E's a spinneroonie, it looked more like just a splash onto the back and them spinning his legs, but it was still pretty cool anyway. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. But I will apologize for being late. Had some technical issues, and that's about it. So, Fletch, it's yours.
No problem, Didi. It seems like Anthony's having technical issues again as well, so you're not the only one. So we're going to lead it right into the first fight of the night, which was the Bar, the Colognes, and I believe it was also the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Now, in this, what's going to happen is the next couple of weeks we're going to have is a pair of triple threat tag team fights. So the Bar, the Good Brothers, and Colognes were tonight. Next week, it's Aiden English and Rusev versus the Usos versus Sanity, and the winners of last night's fight and next week's fight will fight in a couple of weeks, and that will determine the number one contenders, and the winner of that match will get to face the reigning champions, the New Day, at Hell in a Cell. So, with that said, the winners of the bout in 10 minutes and 32 seconds, and the team that gets the right to fight for the number one contenders match 2 weeks from now, they don't set the bar, they are the bar. Sheamus and Cesaro wins. And I'm going to cue Anthony, so he got the cue, and now you'll probably get to hear him now.
Yeah. Triple threat match, I would say, was the third best fight of the night. I'm going to give it between 2 3/4 to 3 stars. I mean, it was the match was solid, and I love the chaotic ending. No surprises with the Bar winning, which was more than okay with me. I mean, it started slow, but it did, pick up towards the end, and had a nice closing stretch. So, all in all, there were 2 matches I thought were better than this one. So, I'm going to give it between 2 3/4 to 3 stars. So, Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this tag match. That's the Bar. They are the Bar.
Oh, yes, I'll give it ours. I mean, this was definitely a nice way to start off the match portion of SmackDown Live. I mean, basically, I mean, I had a feeling the bar was going to go over because I feel like, I mean, look, they've been Raw Tag Team Champions now. I think they deserve an opportunity to be the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I mean, the Good Brothers. And I mean, even the Colognes, I thought, put on a good showing. Basically, all three I thought did fine. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. 2.5 to 3 stars, and of course, I don't know if Fletch is going to mention it, but I see that the team that has been announced for next week's triple threat, it's going to be. Do you want me to get into it, Fletch, or are you going to get into it?
You know what? I'll let you take it. You know, normally you don't necessarily get these opportunities, so go ahead, Bullock, announce it. Who are the 3 teams that gets the opportunities next week?
All right, the team will be the Usos versus Sanity versus Rusev and English. So, yeah, and I'm going to make a bold prediction right here, right now, regarding who's going to win that match. I think it's going to be Sanity because, I mean, the Usos have had their opportunity, and I still think Rusev and English are on the verge of a breakup. So I think that makes the decision easy. I think it's going to be Sanity that goes over next week. And it's going to eventually be the Bar versus Sanity to see who will face New Day at Hell in a Cell. So that's just my take on it. So, D.D. Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go about 2 3/4 on the opening match. It was a good, solid match. Kind of surprised to see the Colognes back, but it was good to see them back at the same time. And yeah, it's going to be a even more interesting tag team match next week to see who's going to now face the Bar, to find out who's going to end up in the end being the number 1 contender for the New Day. So not much more I'm going to say about it. So I guess we need to cue. Is it to cue to Floria, or do I toss it back to you?
No, you toss it right
it's
back.
Fletch's.
Okay.
Yeah, because Anthony actually led off, so I get to go right back to it. So, no, this was a solid match. This is a solid fight. 2.25 stars is definitely the right rating for this. So, the Bar wins, no big surprise, and now we got to wait and see what happens. I think Sanity would be an interesting pick, Michael Bullock, even though I think a lot of people are starting to lose hope on Sanity. It seems like Vince McMahon is really dumping on Sanity for no apparent reason. I don't know what the hell they did to get on his bad side, or maybe this is just McMahon's way of disrespecting the NXT talent from coming up on the main roster again. But I don't get it. But whatever. So we're just gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into a fight tonight. No need. The next thing we had was Jeff Hardy cutting a promo, interrupted by Randy Orton. So, Michael Bullock, you lead off. This was actually pretty good. This was a pretty fiery exchange and a big announcement. Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy at Hell in a Cell, inside Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I thought this was a very good segment here. I mean, basically, he's been saying, like, you know what? Since Randy Orton has returned, he has an obsession with him, and he said, you know what? Orton has gotten into my head and even made him believe that he can fly, and then basically he says Orton thinks that Jeff is a stepping stone, but he feels alive, reborn, and rebroken by fate. I mean, and basically he calls out Orton to come out and finish it, and then Orton says, arrives and basically says, you know what? Congratulations for being back on a pedestal, but I'm not done with you yet. And this is gonna end on. And Orton says, "You know what? I'm not gonna get into the ring on your terms." And basically, I'm gonna identify myself as. Well, you can call me whatever you want. Apex Predator, Viper, but no, I'd be known as 3 simple words: RK, and then Jeff Hardy says, "No, you're going with me straight to hell. Hell in a cell." So, yeah, I mean, I certainly can't wait for this. Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, Hell in a Cell, inside that demonic structure, and Florio and I were getting into this. I think this is the first time ever that Jeff Hardy is going to be stepping inside the Devil's playground, and for Randy Orton, I think this is like his 4th or 5th time in that structure. If I got it wrong, I do apologize on it, but yeah, I thought this was a strong segment here, and can't wait to see what goes down when they face up inside that structure. So with that being said, Dee Whitson, I give it to you.
This is a prime example of why SmackDown is known for the storyline based writing, because they are right on track with keeping along the lines of how the storyline is going. You know, Randy said, I'm not done with you yet to Jeff. Well, in a way, I think Jeff isn't done with Randy, because I have a feeling that, we're not watching him, work on Jeff Hardy. I have a feeling we're actually watching them work on Randy Orton. So I don't know. It's just a thought. But this was a very good segment. Can't wait to see this match and to see how much more leading up we're going to get into. We have like 3 more weeks until Hell in the Cell, so there's a lot that can happen between now and then. So awesome segment. Not much more I'm gonna have to say about it. So Fletch, it's yours.
It was beautifully done, well scripted, and everything else. It's a staple of SmackDown Live. Dee Whitson is always right. Storyline progression at its finest. However, a lot of people are wondering, why is it Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy? Why are they getting thrown into Hell in a Cell? Why are they the ones going in? This is not one of the big matches. This is not one of the big fights that we were expecting. You would think AJ Styles, Samoa Joe probably gets the nod. You would think something else here, but for Hardy and Jeff, for Hardy and Orton to get this moment and get the opportunity to get thrown in Hell in a Cell, I mean, you kind of have to wonder, it's Jeff Hardy's injuries. Is that going to prevent him from doing the high spots? Is he going to do something insane in this fight? Because Jeff Hardy and steel cages or ladders or some kind of apparatus, he's going to do something stupid, something crazy. But now you're throwing him in a 20-foot high Hell in a Cell with a roof on top. God knows what Jeff Hardy's going to do. This guy is a knucklehead. He's going to do something crazy.
Oh, I was just going to say, Fletch, I think he's going to do something crazy. I guarantee you on that.
This could end up on the roof. That's all I can say. This could end up on the roof of the Hell in a Cell, and maybe Jeff Hardy does some kind of dive off the top of the cell. And if that happens, oh my God, is all I'm gonna be saying. So,
well, I'm just gonna warn you, Fletch. I think the Spanish announce table might not be safe.
I don't think no announce table might be safe. Forget about the Spanish announce table. English announce table. If there's a German announce table, that might get sacrificed. Something bad's going to happen with Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. I feel it.
Ain't pretty.
Oh no! But again, I think the real question is is why is it these two? Even though the rivalry's been great lately and it's been very good, I mean, the build's been really well, but are these two men worthy of Hell in a Cell or being in the Hell in a Cell? That's the $1 million question. We'll find out, because as far as the build goes right now, yes, they are, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Anthony Floyo, you say you finally got us. You're good to go. Come on in. It's all yours, my friend.
Yes, indeed. I'm back. I mean, well, I'm not.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, I can finally hear you guys again. I had to clear my settings. That's pretty much what I had to do. But I'm glad it worked. So, anywho, as far as this segment goes, this was great. I absolutely cannot get enough of this feud. And I know there are some who may not be feeling these two in Hell in a Cell, but I'm not those people. I am so happy we're getting this inside of Hell in a Cell. Hey, didn't I call this? Hey, Bullet, do you remember last night on our SmackDown chat? Didn't I say it was going to lead to that? Didn't I say it was going to lead to
Hey,
that?
you called it. You called it.
That's right. Darn tootin' I did. So, you know, we heard Bullock and I heard Jeff Hardy was going to be on the show, and I told Bullock, you know, we heard the announcers said that Jeff Hardy was going to address Randy Orton, and he had that he was going to have some kind of challenge for him. The minute I heard that, ding, light bulb goes off. I told Bullock he's not just going to challenge him to a match at Hell in a Cell. It's going to be inside Hell in a Cell. And quite frankly, I'm not surprised, and I'm also honestly thrilled about this. I mean, Jeff Hardy has never been inside a Hell in a Cell match. Randy Orton, this is not his first rodeo. He's been in quite a few of these, so including one that Michael Bullock got to see up close and personal, Armageddon 2005, when Randy Orton
and that was the very first time Randy Orton stepped inside the Devil's Playground.
Yep, and you got to see it in person. You were there, as I recall. You were at.
Yeah, but the thing is, this wasn't that the big Hell in a Cell that we're seeing right now.
No, it was the old Hell in a Cell, the original Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
and you were there for that.
And I can tell you this, guys. When I saw that thing up close, is this Hell in a Cell really above everyone in this arena, including me? I mean, these people. I mean, they're gonna get to experience seeing that cell hanging above them, come Hell in a Cell.
San Antonio.
Yep.
That's where it's gonna be. AT&T Center, San Antonio, Texas, or as I like to call it, San Antone. I mean, gonna be I mean, there's nothing really left for me to say except this was an awesome segment, another great segment here. I'm excited for the match. I mean, we're looking at a show stealer right here. That's all I can say about that. And yes, I can picture Jeff Hardy doing a swanton off the top of the cell onto Randy Orton through one of the announce tables. Who's going to be the lucky one? Will it be the Spanish announce table? Will it be the German announce table? Or could it be the actual ringside announce table with Phillips, Graves, and Saxton? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But don't be surprised if we see that. You know he's going to do it. So, man alive, that's going to be hell. That's going to be hella fun. I cannot wait. And MF, as you and Gorilla Monsoon would always say to close it up here, it's going to be something else.
It's going to be something else. Unfortunately, guys, normally this hardly ever happens on Cerebral Smack Talk, but we got a cutout fight. It was Billie Kay of the Iconics going one-on-one with Naomi, and Billie Kay gets the victory at 1 minute and 32 seconds. Almost similar to what happened the week before when it was Peyton Royce versus Naomi. Definitely the other member of the Iconics getting involved in the fight and leading into a roll-up victory. Obviously, worst fight of the night. We're not going to go any more into that. So we're going to get into the next part of the show, which was Daniel Bryan with Brie Bella they were cutting a promo about the Miz and Maryse and about their match coming up at Hell in a Cell, and then they got interrupted by none other than Andrade Cien Almas and Selena Vega. So they start getting into it a little back and forth. Then there was kind of an awkward moment where it looked like they were going to make a match, and Paige, where are you, honey? What's going on? So she finally runs out, huffing and puffing, exhausted, out of breath, and we're like, honey, what happened? She's like, you know what stinks is that my office is on the other side of the arena, and I was running as fast as I could to get down here so that I could make this match official. It's a 2-for-1, guys, and a match that maybe was a dream fight for all of us. Andrade Cien Almas, one-on-one with Daniel Bryan. The winner of the bout in 12 minutes and 44 seconds was Daniel Bryan via disqualification because the Miz and Maryse showed up and they jumped Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. They got laid out. Oh, man. Dee Woodson, the whole scope of it, this was probably the segment of the night, the fight of the night, and the dastardly Miz and Maryse got a measure of revenge on Daniel Bryan and his lovely wife Brie, but boy, does it add more fuel to the fire to Hell in a Cell.
A lot more fuel to the fire. The segment itself, yeah, that was amazing. I mean, getting to hear, this married couple out here, doing their thing, Almas and Vega coming out, and trying to set up the match. You had Bryan, making the comment when Paige was late coming out, that, when I was GM, I made a point to make sure I was there. Well, Paige also, during her little rebuttal, said, at least, when you were doing it, you weren't wearing high heels, trying to run in high heels. Yeah, you don't want. Guys don't know how that feels trying to run in high heels. That's not a fun thing to do, and a good way to possibly break a nice little ankle.
Memo to WWE next time. Make sure Paige's office is a little closer to the arena floor, not all the hell the way on the other side of the building, please.
Yeah, you mutton heads.
Yeah. I'm going to stand up with Paige on this one. I mean, that was not, that's not her fault that she was late coming out. I mean, so, you have to improvise. So, Daniel makes his comment. She makes her comment, which I'm sure neither one of them was scripted. So, yeah. But definitely, yeah, I would say it was definitely the segment of the night. The match itself, I'm going to go 3 to 3.5 stars. It was a very well done match, and not surprised of Miz and Maryse getting involved, because this kind of stuff, as we all know, always happens when it leads up to a big match like this. Was interesting to kind of see Miz and Maryse teaming up with Vega, and almost as they were, trying to take out Daniel and Brie, and like I said, it wasn't a surprise. Definitely storyline based. And what's even more interesting, which will be a little plug for Florio here, Florio's show, that we get to see Brie and Nikki on Raw. So we're getting a twofer here with Brie alone on both shows. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see that as well, and see if even if that's even mentioned on Raw with this with all this. So not much more we have to say about it. Fletch, I'll toss it back to you.
This was as epic as you could get. A dream fight, a dream match. Andrade Cien Almas Tranquilo versus Daniel Bryan, the man who was fighting for a dream. Two men, their paths totally different. A third generation superstar from Mexico versus one of the best indie wrestler as the American Dragon, and now Daniel Bryan himself. And trust me, this was a dream fight that you think about it when this happened, when Daniel Bryan got the clearance to wrestle again. Andrade Cien Almas still on NXT. Once he comes to SmackDown Live, you're thinking, man, what it would be like if these two guys go at it. What would the match be like? It was the best match that Andrade Cien Almas had, period, on SmackDown Live. Daniel Bryan made him look like $1,000,000, and this was a tremendous match, to say the very least. Great battle, great fight. I don't mind the interference by The Miz at the end of the fight, because that is kind of his shtick, his spiel, that chicken bleep, whatever you want to call it, and it was perfect. For me, segment of the night, fight of the night, 3.5 stars, absolutely nailed. Anthony Florio, it could not have got it. It did. You know what? Just like Wolverine and Alfredo from from the RIWF and New England Championship Wrestling, it don't get better. It doesn't get better, huh?
It doesn't get any better, huh?
Better than this. Woo! Go ahead, Florio.
Oh, you just brought back some memories, and that was awesome. Oh, that just made my night. Oh boy, how do we follow this? Great. Everything about this is why MF and everybody out there loves SmackDown Live a whole lot more than Monday Night Raw. I mean, the match. I mean, the only thing I didn't like about it was the DQ finish. I mean, I did not like that. I mean, Bullock could even tell you that firsthand. I mean, watching this last night, we were so excited about the match. I mean, Daniel Bryan, he's done everything there is to do. Andrade Cien Almas, former NXT champion, future of SmackDown Live. He's going to be packing the gold very soon. Believe me on that. I would give the match more like 3 to 3.25 stars, because the DQ finish, I still have to frown upon that. It ruined what was going to be such an awesome match. But it was still amazing though. You should go out of your way to watch this. I mean, it was impossibly good. Everything from the match to the post-match antics from the heels was brilliant. And these two right now, The Miz and Daniel Bryan, they're shooting for feud of the decade right now. That is how good this is. So, absolutely well done. The only thing I didn't like I said, was the DQ finish. That rubbed me the wrong way. But other than that, just incredible. 3 to 3.25 stars. I felt it could have been better, a little bit better, but it was still fun to watch. And these two, I hope these two get a pay-per-view match down the road. Because if you put these two on a pay-per-view match, sky's the limit. That's all I can say on that. So, segment of the night, absolutely, without a doubt. And then you throw in Bryan and Almas. Man, if it wasn't for that DQ finish, I would have agreed. I would have called it the fight of the night. There was one match that I honestly thought was better based on the body of work, and I think it deserves a lot more credit. So that's all I'm going to say on that. So this is an agree to disagree. it's the second best fight of the night for me. The segment of the night was great, but the thing is, like I said, the DQ finish ruined it. So that's all I can say there. So Bullock, we talked about this last night. Our SmackDown chat last night, we talked about this. I mean, we were in the praise of this match, loving this match, and then that damn Miz and Maurice had to ruin what was going to be an epic fight.
Damn you two! Yeah, as far as the segment goes, I mean, I really liked it. This was the segment of the night. I mean, basically, the Miz and Maurice were, I mean, not Miz, Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan were basically saying, you know what? They didn't like what Miz did, mocking his retirement last week, and basically saying that he is a poor actor, and then Brie Bella arrived and basically punched Miz right in the face. And Brie basically then said, you know what? I didn't need to fight Daniel Bryan's battle, but this is one time I wanted to do it just so that because of Maurice always getting involved, always helping the Miz win matches, and that at Hell in a Cell they're not going to be able to hide. And then, yeah, I mean, when we heard that El Idolo, we were like, wow, Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas. I mean, it's like, what are they doing here? And then basically, Zelina Vega basically introducing herself to and Andrade to Daniel Bryan, and basically saying, you know what, Almas has put Sin Cara on the shelf, took the WWE champion AJ Styles to his limit, and destroying Rusev. While Miz has outsmarted Daniel Bryan, Almas will out-wrestle him. And then Paige runs out and then makes the match official. And I'm going to say 3.5 stars. And I'm sorry I have to say this, but I think this was definitely the fight of the night as far as I'm concerned. Well, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, the moves these two put on were absolutely awesome, and Daniel Bryan, to me, made Andrade Cien Almas look good. I mean, yeah, the DQ finish hurt it, but I'll tell you what, the sky's the limit for Andrade Cien Almas. This guy's going to be a future champion somewhere down the line. Maybe not WWE champion right away, but maybe a United States champion. But yeah, I mean, he is so high on Andrade Cien Almas, and I mean, we can all see why. And because remember, in NXT, he was a nobody, but ever since they put him with Zelina Vega, Andrade's a different man, and he's a star in the making. I mean, can we all agree on that? I certainly...
Absolutely.
What do you say,
I agree.
Fletch?
No, I agree. I definitely think he's definitely... I mean...
Would you say ever since they put him with Zelina Vega, he's become a different man?
Oh, she's done wonders for him. I mean, she single-handedly made his career because he was definitely in obscurity in NXT, basically a mid-card, almost a mid. He was literally in mid-card hell. Nobody really knew much about Andrade Cien Almas until he aligned himself with Zelina Vega, and she was right when she said, "If you align with me, greatness will come." And sure enough, ever since he did align with her, greatness has come for Andrade Cien Almas. The success in NXT, and now it's being translated in WWE. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So, 3.5 stars, fight of the night. The sky's the limit for Andrade Cien Almas, and even though I didn't like the DQ finish, I actually thought even though the DQ finish was, I didn't like it, but the thing is, I also didn't mind it as well because it also continues the build for this mixed tag team match at Hell in a Cell and really continues to get major heat on The Miz and Marty. So, yeah, I really got nothing more to say. So, Fletch, I think it's time we move on.
And we moved on to AJ Styles cutting a promo, then interrupted because he saw Samoa Joe on the Titantron, and basically, oh yeah, he was going at it again. He apparently he was on the phone with AJ Styles' wife, Wendy, and he asked about AJ's daughter, and AJ went ballistic, runs out of the ring, and he runs out of the ring, tries to go after Joe, makes the chase, went to the spot where Joe was, which was near the loading deck at the arena. Joe was nowhere to be found, and AJ is left wondering what the F is going on, because Joe has made a promise that he is going to possibly stop by next week. I think he said that he was going to send him home and that he was going to show up at their house in Gainesville, Georgia next week. Oh man, this is getting bad. This is getting way too personal now, guys. This is, I mean, going there and we could say they go there and, everything and the whole 9 yards, but man, it is getting so bad. This is becoming a blood feud, and we have not had any type of feud like this in a very, very, very long time. It's never gotten this personal, this heated, this ugly in a very long time. This is beyond PG era realm, guys. We're starting to get into like the Age of Orton, Triple H messing with the family type business now. I mean, it's getting that bad. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
Oh my, they went there. This rivalry is as heated as any rivalry in WWE today, and that includes all of the other great feuds on SmackDown Live right now. I mean, the Miz and Bryan is one thing, but these two, I mean, they're taking it to a whole new level. And Joe said that he was gonna. He asked Wendy if he was still on for attending their back to school barbecue. I guess that's what it was. And he says maybe I'll be available next Tuesday. And yep, that did it. So just amazing. Oleg and I got into this during our SmackDown chat. I mean, we're family men. Well, we're all family-oriented individuals, especially Didi Woodson. But we all are. But if Joe or anybody like that did anything like that to any of us, we would do the exact same thing, without a doubt. And just incredible what's going on here. I don't know if this is going to be a Hell in a Cell match. This is the one match that I really want to be a Hell in a Cell match. I really do, but I don't know. It probably will not be, because you've already got two already to go. You got Hardy and Orton, and then you've also got Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman over on Monday Night Raw for the Universal Championship, which I'm hella excited for. So, I mean, but aside from that, they need to make this Hell in a Cell. They're too intense. The rivalry's too intense. You can't have a regular wrestling match. It's only gonna end in a DQ again, just like we had at SummerSlam. So they have to do a Hell in a Cell. They have to. So that's all I can say on it. Just amazing. So nothing more to say. I mean, Bullock.
I mean, holy smokes! I mean, they went there again, and this whole rivalry. I mean, it's gotten so personal. It's very bad. I mean, we can all agree on that. It's getting bad. I mean, and the thing about Samoa Joe, he doesn't give a damn. And he doesn't give a damn so much. He probably would have attacked our families. I mean, that's how savage he is. And saying he's going to show up at the next week's back to school barbecue at the home of AJ Styles. I mean, damn. I mean, Florio. I gotta ask you. I mean, Joe and Styles, they had a rivalry in Impact Wrestling, but I don't think you can ever remember it being this personal.
No, never.
They never gone this far. Like this is a realm of this is 10 times more beyond than they've ever gone in Impact Wrestling. Like they never ever brought family into this until now.
And this is not PG. I'll tell you that right now, Fletch. This is not PG.
Absolutely not.
This is getting into the range of a TV 14, if I'm going to be quite honest. And I mean, this adds more fuel to their match at Hell in a Cell. And I'm going to plead with WWE right now. Please make this a Hell in a Cell match. I mean, this rivalry has gotten so personal. There's only one way to settle it. Inside that Hell in a Cell. I mean, I'm begging WWE to please make this happen. And this is the one time, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me on this. Forget the PG rating for this match. Make it TV 14. We want to see some blood. I mean, with the way this rivalry is gone. I mean, wouldn't you guys like to see that for once in a Hell in a Cell match?
Well, Mike Bullock, we saw blood at SummerSlam.
Well,
AJ Styles was cut when he got ran right into the steel steps. You saw
I
AJ
saw that,
was a crimson mask a little bit.
I saw that, but I think we want to see more, especially with the way this rivalry is gone. But we'll see what happens. But man, I don't know what else is there to say. I mean, Dee Woodson. I mean, you're a family person yourself, and what Joe did, he crossed a line way beyond the borders.
Oh yeah. I would say he's technically right there on the borderline of harassment. So yeah, he's crossed several lines, not just professionally but personally, and I could take this a step further, not just being a family person or looking at this from Wendy's point of view, but also as the daughter of a cop. That would be coming close to a line to where they would be involved. But seeing this is all storyline based and everything, I don't think we're ever going to see it really go that far, because AJ's the type of person, I'm going to take this in my hands because this is my family. I'm going to protect them, just like any other male figure would do. And and even in my case, if someone was to come after my family, I would step in and do that myself. I mean, there's 2 or 3 times where there's been arguments around and I pulled my kids away from the arguments just because I didn't want them involved in it. Whether it be something that they're arguing with somebody with, or adults arguing, and I didn't want the kids around that type of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's getting to that point. I have a feeling, if we do see Joe at AJ's house and AJ's there, then yeah, I have a feeling we're going to have a backyard brawl. We're going to have probably all hell break loose. And who knows, we may even see the, AJ's boys getting involved. Who knows? there's a reason he wears that tattoo on the side of him. And, you know, Joe said, you know, that AJ cares only about the ring and not his family. Well, he wouldn't have put that on him if he wasn't bringing, you know, his family into the ring with him every time he went to the ring. That's his way of doing it. That's his reminder that this is what he's doing it for. He's doing it for those 3 boys and that one little girl. He's doing this for his wife. He's doing this to support his family, to live out not only his dream, but, you know, show his kids that, you know, whatever you're wanting to do, you work hard enough, this is what you can do. Any parent would want to instill that into their kids, and I commend him for that. And WWE's taken this to a extreme that, you know, if they're not careful with, it's going to cross several lines. And, you know, it's already to the point to where, you know, AJ's blown his top once, and I don't see any other way of them doing this other than having it in a Hell in a Cell or some other, you know, no disqualification type match. But, you know, it's going to come to blows, and it's going to come into just like it was at the end of the last pay-per-view, very personal, and those blows are not going to be, you know, the ones where a lot of people think are fake. They're going to be the real blows, and we are going to see what Michael Bullock wants. We're going to see the Crimson Mask probably on both of them if it gets to that point. You know, there's no telling what we're gonna get, but it's going to be personal. It's going to be it's not going to be a match. It's going to be a fight. And, you know, you thought the unsanctioned fight on NXT was bad. You get these 2 to that point, we may have another unsanctioned fight just with these 2. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. This was definitely one heck of a segment, and definitely as personal as we're ever going to see between these 2. So, Fletch, it's yours.
And it leads us right into the main event of the evening. SmackDown Women's title on the line. The champion, Charlotte Flair, versus the challenger and former champion, Carmella, the winner of the bout in 13 minutes and 22 seconds. And still, the SmackDown Women's champion, Charlotte Flair, she wins the match. But then, after the match was over, she gets jumped, attacked by Becky Lynch. There's really nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's all yours, my friend. Fight of the night. I'm assuming this is your fight of the night.
Absolutely, this is the fight of the night for me. 3.5 to 4 stars. This was an incredible match. I gotta tell you. Michael Bullock and Dee Woodson, say what you want about Carmella. I know you don't like her character. I get that, the whole 9 yards. But to me, I think that was her personal best in-ring work right there. I mean, SummerSlam was one thing. You know, SummerSlam with Charlotte and Becky, you heard how I praised that. Well, she did things I didn't think she was capable of doing. I mean, she did a tope suicida, for goodness sakes. A tope suicida a la Ember Moon. You know how Ember Moon goes through the bottom rope when she does hers? Carmella did the exact same thing. I've talked about it on the show many of times. When you put, you know, a green as grass worker, you know, like a Carmella, in there with a pure athlete, a world-class athlete, you know, like a Charlotte Flair or a Becky Lynch or what have you, leave it to the incredible, the more talented worker, you know, to make that green as grass worker look great. And that's exactly what happened. Carmella, this is obviously going to be, you know, her last rodeo when it comes to the women's title picture for now, because the big money feud is now Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. You know they're going to do this at Hell in a Cell. You know it's going to be like this. I personally would have liked to have seen them save it for Revolution. That's just my personal preference. You know, when you have a great venue like the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, this all women's Evolution pay per view, that could be a headliner. That could be a main event caliber fight right there. That could be the main event of it right there. If you really think about it. But I don't know if it will be. We still got 2 months to think about it. But nonetheless, this is the match that I was raving about. There was no DQ finish here, no nonsense here. Just two women who went out there, did the best with the time they were given, and they put on, you know, one of the best SmackDown Women's Championship matches I've seen in a long time. I mean, this and the SummerSlam match, just amazing. And like I said, Bullock and Didi, say what you want about Carmella. I know you don't like her. I get that. I understand that. But you don't have to like her, but you damn sure got to respect her. And after that performance that Carmella put in last night, I have gained a newfound respect for Carmella. Well done, my dear. You may not have won, but well done. You earned my respect, without a doubt. 3.5 to 4 stars. Fight of the night. Bullock, how do you follow that?
I don't know how you can follow that, but yeah, 3.5 to 4 stars. I have to agree. This was the fight of the night, and I have to put Almas and Bryan as the second best fight of the night. But yeah, I mean, this was definitely Carmella's best match in her career on the main roster. I mean, yeah, I still don't like her, but definitely, I mean, you got to give her credit. I mean, even though she didn't win, she definitely looked really good. And yeah, and of course, now it looks like it's going to be, I mean, the beatdown after the match with Becky Lynch. And yeah, you know what's going down at Hell in a Cell. Charlotte and Becky for the SmackDown women's title. So, nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, this was definitely her best match, Carmella, but we still hate her.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing that's going to change me from liking Carmella right now. Too arrogant, too much like a lot of people I grew up with.
And too loud.
Don't get me started on that. Okay, there's two women in wrestling that seem like nothing they ever did had to happen unless they were screaming at the same time. One of them was Melina, and the other one's Carmella.
But the thing is, Melina can back it up. She backed it up.
Yeah, Melina could back it up. She could wrestle very well. Carmella, I'll admit, she's stepping up her game. She's getting better. She's not there yet. As for this particular match, you know, it's a pretty good, you know, overall pretty good main event. And, you know, Carmella working hard just like she did in SummerSlam and delivering well, but it still felt like all the other matches that we've seen for Charlotte. I mean, it was very deliberate. It lacked drama. Crowd was not into it. All they did was chant for Becky. They were not behind these girls at all. It just was lacking a lot. So, you know, that's why I'm not giving it the fight of the night, because, I mean, the crowd was not into it. And it just seemed like every other Charlotte match where Charlotte just, you know, she comes out on top. She's reigning supreme. But, you know, all the fans are sitting here chanting for Becky. Well, you know, they got their wish. Becky came out. And boy, howdy, her little speech that she gave to Charlotte. And I mean, it was little, but it was powerful. She has stated right here, right now, she's coming back to claim her title. And of course, she also called Charlotte the B word. So, yeah, I'd say if looks could kill, I would say these two ladies definitely would have, you know, killed each other with their looks. But yeah, this, for me, I enjoyed a little bit more the segment afterwards, because that was a little more exciting than I would say the actual match was for me. It is what it is. Everybody has their own opinion. I'm not going to put you guys down for your opinion. That's your opinion. If you say this is the match of the night, that's great. Go for it. Me, I'm going off of what I've seen, and yeah, this is storyline based, but it's the same thing we always see when Charlotte's in the ring, and I love Charlotte to death, but it is what it is. It's just the same thing we always see from Charlotte. Crowd hated it, so I'm going to give it about. I'll give it a 3, but I'm not going any higher than that, and I still say the other one is the fight of the night. So Fletch, it's yours.
I partially disagree with you, Dee Dee, because I really like that Carmella got a lot more offense in this fight. She definitely was the aggressor of the fight. She looked more dominant in this fight. Yes, you could say it's status quo because of the fact that Charlotte ended up winning the match and the way she won it. But I really thought the flow of the match was definitely there. Yes, the fans were really trying to hijack it to try to root for Becky Lynch. But here's the thing. Becky Lynch right now, even though WWE is trying to make her a heel, she's the most over diva on SmackDown Live right now. She's getting a pop relatively in the realm of an Austin or a Rock. Whatever you try to do, the fans are sighing with her and they're sympathizing with her. They're agreeing with her because what she's saying is almost the God honest truth. And that's the thing, is that despite what WWE is trying to do with Becky Lynch by trying to make her say, "Oh, you never had my back. No, you know, a couple of you guys were, you tweeted, your sympathy that it was messed up and everything else, but you guys never really had my true back." Becky, that's not true. We all had your back. We all were calling BS when Charlotte got the opportunity at the SummerSlam title shot. We all were crying foul that Charlotte won the title. Well, I especially was crying foul when Charlotte won the title. I don't know about the other 3, but I was definitely crying foul. So, the fans are relaying to Becky Lynch because she's coming off more relatable than any other person on the roster, and that's why they're siding with her. So when she beat down Charlotte, everybody wanted to see that. So this is definitely a great way to close the show because, yes, you got to give it up for Carmella because already 2 times out, the fight in SummerSlam, the fight last night were her 2 best matches she's had on the main roster. So definitely I agree with that. Yes, I agree with Dee Dee Whitson that it was very status quo. It was very bland, that the fans were trying to hijack the moment. But I kind of disagree because I thought the whole scope of it was actually a lot more better. So I'm actually going to meet you in the middle and go 3.5 stars and say this was a great way to close the show. All right, guys. So now it's time for the overall review of SmackDown Live. And I believe we get Michael Bullock to lead off here. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Give me your thoughts on SmackDown Live.
I thought this was another good edition of SmackDown Live. I mean, we had some really good segments here. And of course, we only had one blemish, was the cutout with Billie Kay and Naomi, but everything else I thought was really good. So because of that, I have to give it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. that's how I feel, because I mean, you still got that storyline progression going with Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. I mean, the way they're continuing to build this feud with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe going into the Hell in a Cell match. So, and this is why SmackDown Live has been beating Monday Night Raw, even though Monday Night Raw has been continuing to get better and better. But I just think SmackDown Live did much more better than Raw did this week. So 8 out of 10 for me. Didi Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll go 8 out of 10. It was a good show. There's a lot of very strong points to the show. And it was very storyline driven. I think the one thing everybody missed from what I said on that final match is I did give Carmella some credit. She is looking better. But the only reason I'm rating it low is not because of what Carmella did, but because it was stale. I mean, you've got the same thing going every time that Charlotte has the title, and it ends the same way every time, and that's where I draw the line. I mean, you want something fresh, you want something new. You don't want what we were getting on Raw. It was Alexa Bliss doing this and this and this, and every time she'd lose the title, she'd get it back, and it'd go right back to that same thing. Well, they're starting to do that now with Charlotte, and that's not what I'm wanting to see. I'm wanting to see something fresh. We don't want to have the same thing every week. So, but all in all, yeah, it was a very good show, and I do agree with Michael's rating on this. And SmackDown's notorious for the storylines. They kept with that storyline all the way through, with just about everything on there. Yes, the biggest low point is Naomi with the Iconics, and I'm hoping that we're finally done with this and with these three, and let's move on to something else with these girls, because I know the Iconics are very good wrestlers, and let's get them into some tag action, because that's what they're better at, and that's what I'm wanting to see. I'm wanting to see more tag matches with the Divas. I'm one of the biggest supporters right now of trying to get WWE to push to bring in a women's tag team. So let's do it. You got enough Divas here. That would be perfect to bring in and possibly even have on our all ladies pay-per-view. So enough said for me. I've got an early morning in the morning. I've got to be up at 5:45 to get girls ready for school. So I will see you all next week. Good night, guys.
Good night, Didi. All right.
Fletch, one more thing I want to address before you move on. I mean, the only difference with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, I mean, Charlotte to me is a better wrestler than Alexa Bliss. That's
all right.
Everything I wanted to get off my chest.
All right, very well, no doubt about it. All right, look, no more interruptions. I want to try to go fast here because I got the Mikey's mindset. I'm gonna try to go blazing fast here. 8 out of 10. I totally agree with the sentiments of everybody up to this point. Anthony Floyo, go ahead.
8 out of 10. Move on.
All right, so like I said, 2 weeks worth of Lucha Underground. We started it off on the last episode with Mil Muertes versus the Mac in a haunted house match. Mil Muertes defeats the Mac one-on-one. Then we had Jake Strong versus Aerostar. Jake Strong still undefeated in Lucha Underground, looking really good up to this point. And then in our main event, last luchador standing for the Lucha Underground world title, Pentagon Dark versus the machine they call Cage, and Pentagon Dark gets the victory, successfully defends the title. And now on tonight's episode of Lucha Underground, we had Jake Cage versus Jake Strong versus Drago, and it was Jake Cage again with the victory, remaining undefeated. Then we had EXO Latish versus Jack Evans in a no mas match, and EXO gets the victory. Little help from Eva Lee's, a little help from Joey Ryan, creepy bastard. But whatever the case may be, they do get the victory there. But the main thing of this episode was the wedding of Talia and Johnny Mundo. It looked like everything was, it was your typical wedding in wrestling. It wasn't really over the top. There was definitely some moments where you're like, what the hell is this? It basically ended with them. They went all the way to the end, right at the point that they were gonna pronounce them husband and wife. The monster Matanza Cueto got loose and destroyed everybody in the arena. Poor everybody was a victim on this one, man. Famous B, Brenda, cheerleader Melissa was there. All the members of the Worldwide Underground, they all got destroyed. Johnny Mundo went through a table. Talia went through a table where the wedding cake was. It was a mess. So definitely unbelievable show, to say the very least. And then next week on Lucha Underground, we basically have Melissa Santos and Katrina. Their confrontation is going to continue. Another sacrifice to the gods because of Matanza Cueto. But watch out, Worldwide Underground, they're going to be looking for retribution after the monster destroyed the wedding. Then we got a luchador seeking revenge and comes after Pentagon Dark, and we also have Killshot's going to be in action, but keep a close eye because Son of Havoc is going to be in the building as well. How's that going to play out? I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm going to go very quickly before we get on out of here. Of course, I said I was going to give you the recap of AAA's on Triple Mania with 26 that went down. That actually went down this past week, or I should say, is this it? Yes, it was. Okay, so it went down. So what we had to start the show off in the whole thing was we had it was basically a minis match, a four-way mixed tag for the AAA World Mixed Tag Team Championship, as Nino Hamburguesa and Big Mini, they successfully defended their titles. I'm not going to get into the remaining team. So then we had a ladder match to determine the number one contenders for the AAA World Tag Team Championships, as the Mexa Bloods wins the match, beating Team AAA, Team Elite, and Team Impact. So the Mexa Bloods, Bandal and Famala, are going to get the opportunities sometime down the line, as they'll get to fight for the World Tag Team titles. Then we had a 6-man tag team lumberjack match, as it was El Noche Poder de la Norte, as that was Carlos Brava Jr., Majito Loca Jr., and legendary Tito Santana. That's right, Tito Santana back in action. They went up against the Elite, which was El Hijo de la Park, Puma King, and Torres, and they also went up against Mamba, Maxano, and Pipinera Escalata. And when it was all said and done, El Noche Ponde la Norte gets the victory in the fight. Unbelievable match. Nothing more to say. Next thing we had was a 6-man tag team fight, as it was Evino, Chessman, and Superfly versus Juventud Carrera, Jack Evans, and Teddy Hart, winners of the bout in the 6-man tag. It was Avino Chessman and Superfly. Great match to say the very least. Then we had was another 6-man tag. This was Street Fight Rules. El, El Tejano, Rey Escorpion, and La Mascara versus Joe Leader, Murder Clown, and Pagon. And this was a bloody and crazy fight. Derek Ferrera was even calling this one of the most craziest fights we ever seen, as Los Meneneros wins the match. Then we had a mask versus hair match. Lady Shanti puts her mask on the line versus Fabi Apache's hair. Fabi Apache loses the match. She gets her head shaved right before our very eyes. Unbelievable match, to say the very least. And then in the co-main event of the evening for the AAA Mega Copion, the World Heavyweight Championship of AAA, it was Phoenix versus Brian Cage versus Rich Swann versus the defending champion, Jeff Jarrett, the winner of the bout, and new AAA Mega Copion Phoenix from Lucha Underground. He rises from the ashes and is now the top guy in AAA, the new champion in AAA. But there was some controversy because of the fact that Dr. Wagner Jr. was revealed as the referee, and there was a little bit of a fast count for the 1, 2, 3 that gave Phoenix the opportunity to win the title. Oh boy, we're gonna have ourselves a little bit of some fireworks coming down the line, and then in the main event, in the Poco de Ashes, Lucha de Aparates, Mask versus Mask, inside the steel cage, it was L.A. Park, El Hijo de la Phasma, Pentagon Dark, and Psycho Clown. When it was all said and done, El Hijo de la Phasma loses his mask in this situation as L.A. Park wins the match. He officially is declared the winner because Pentagon Dark and Killer Clown were basically involved in the match. However, L.A. Park was deemed the winner because he was the one to get the finishing touch on El Hijo de la Phasma. And like I said, El Hijo de la Phasma had to unmask a major moment in Mexico, because just like the mask in Mexico, that's the lifeblood, that's the tradition in Mexico. It's like a career ender for El Hijo de la Phasma. If he decides to continue on, he can, but his life and career is never going to be the same after this. Overall rating, one of the highest ratings I can give on AAA in over 5 years. This was an 8.5 out of 10. Tremendous show. That's it. Nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, come on in. We got ourselves a big lineup for the next couple of days. So set us up with College Football Thursday tomorrow.
College Football Thursday returns tomorrow night. I'm hoping we can start it earlier, but we'll have to negotiate that. But what? All right. I'll just keep going. College Football Thursday, the season premiere tomorrow night. As you know, we're only going to talk about the top 25 games. And since this is week 1, there will not be a power poll because there's no point in doing one. There's no reason to do one because, it's the first week. So we're only going to get into the games. There's 17 of them, not counting the one tomorrow night. There is a top 25 team in action tomorrow. But from Saturday and the weekend and Labor Day, there are 17 matchups. There are a lot of great matchups. Of course, the game of the week, we all know, Michigan against Notre Dame, Washington against Auburn. That's another one to keep an eye on. And of course, the U taking on LSU. To me, those are the 3 games of the week right there. We'll definitely go into detail about that. There will be some Zonk games, fellas, so we're just going to go rapid fire on that. So I'm hoping we can do it at an earlier time. Maybe like around 9:30, 10. That would be great. But I know I'm probably going to get overruled on that. But we'll see what happens. But it is going to go down tomorrow night, the return of college football Thursday. And then Friday night, of course, Derek Ferreira coming out of retirement for one night only. He is going to be hosting. He's going to be back hosting. What a moment that's going to be. The preview of the All In show that's going down this weekend. That's going to be amazing. And then, of course, next week, Ridiculously Raw and the whole 9 yards. So there's tomorrow night. I'm hoping we can do it earlier, because of, work commitments and all that.
Well, because of my commitments, I would actually even want to do it maybe 9 o'clock if that's okay.
Sure, absolutely. 9, definitely. That would definitely help. How about it, Bullock? Is that good for you too?
I'm fine with that. Well, like I said, that's up to Derek.
What's that?
I don't think Derek would mind an early start time. I say let's do 9 o'clock tomorrow night because I gotta go in at 7 a.m. the next day. So I want to get it done early. So yeah.
So do I. So there you go. 9 o'clock it is. So 9 o'clock tomorrow night. The season premiere of College Football Thursday. That's wonderful. I'm over the moon about that. We can get that done early. We can get it done, the better. So that's great. There you have it. 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Actually, I just remembered, Florio, that I might be late coming in because I'm going to a Paw Sox game because it's Special Olympics Rhode Island night.
Of course, Bullock. And if you should come in while we're on, we'll catch you up on what you missed, like we always do. So
yeah, I just remember that now.
No worries. I understand. So, but nonetheless, 9 p.m. That's that, and then Friday night, I'm sure it'll probably be the usual 10:30. I'm sure, which is fine because it's Friday. So there you go. So Derek Ferreira out of retirement. That's going to be something else. So nothing more to say, MF. I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 9. Season premiere College Football Thursday. Let's do it.
All right, and until then, for Anthony Flail, from Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. Of course, thank you, Didi Whitson, as always. Like the video, share it with all your friends on all social media platforms. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.